Yo, what is going on, YouTube world? We are KRTLYFE with the Y, and this video was supposed to be a DIY that became a DI don't, and we're going to talk about it. Right meow, coming up. Alright, y'all, cutting to the chase, this is going to be a short video. I was going to change, well, not going. I did change and rebuild the CV axles on my 1999 Hundo Series Land Cruiser that just hit 400,000 miles.
Yay.
Can't
believe it's just still driving normally.
Yeah, it still drives great, even though it had completely busted axles. But this video was supposed to have been a DIY showing y'all how to do that job. And quickly it span out of control and turned into a where, yeah, I'm not going to vlog this. And the number one reason why was because changing your CV axles is one thing. If you can pop them out easy and put them back in, no problem. But rebuilding a CV axle,
a whole other ball game.
Oh man, it's a whole nother nightmare. So let's talk about why it's so bad. I try to avoid doing really dirty jobs when I'm wrenching. There are certain jobs I won't do. For instance, like I don't like taking oil pans off. I don't like doing like transmission pan stuff, like things that get like really gritty and nasty. I try to avoid. And I didn't realize how bad CV axle rebuild can get.
That was, in one word, nasty.
Yeah, so your sister Kat sat with me the whole time and watched it. And what did you see from your perspective? Because I was covered in grease and I couldn't see anything.
I mean, it started like a normal job, right? And I realized it's going to be greasy because I've seen what you have to do in order to rebuild those. But you know, Reza usually very clean person. Everything is super organized and structured and stuff. So it started that way. We had a nice table set up. Everything was covered. Everything was good until it started just going just everywhere. That grease, I swear to God, that grease was everywhere.
I can still smell the grease today. Like
it
this
was
morning.
It seems like every new thing he takes out, there's like 5 times more grease coming out after. Then I'm like, oh my God. At some point, he just poured it into the trash can, and I'm just watching it like it's just spaghetti sauce, just you pouring into it. It was disgusting.
Nasty
for sure.
And disgusting. So the jobs I did was I pulled my CV axles off because the boots were busted, replaced the boots and re-greased the axles. Mm-hmm. I changed the seals going into the front diff, and I also replaced my diff fluid, or refilled my diff fluid, drained and refilled the diff fluid. And man, when I tell y'all this is such a dirty job, like I can't in good faith recommend that anybody do this unless you are either like in the situation where you really need to do it, or you can't afford to pay somebody else to do it, or you just are a person like me who's just a glutton for punishment and loves to wrench. Because it's so bad, and it's like, so I guess since I'm telling y'all it's so bad, let me tell y'all why I chose to do it. Because when your options for repair on CV axles on a 100 series Land Cruiser are why can't I not talk today? I guess because I'm so tired.
You're tired.
I didn't go to sleep till like after 3 last night because I was up cleaning all the grease off all my tools.
I went to sleep almost at 2, and he was nowhere near the bed yet. So.
Okay, options. Your options are OEM new axles, which
completely
are very expensive. Yes, completely replace the OEM axles. OEM axles are about $500-600 each. I think that was on the low end for the OEM axles. Mm-hmm. You can go aftermarket axles, but all that I read about the aftermarket axles is that they only last a year or so, and then they pop, they break, and they knock, and they're just not worth the trouble. But the best option that I saw from all the research that I did was pretty much you should rebuild your OEM axles. So I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. And the funny thing is that Toyota sells the kit, but I read that Toyota won't even do the rebuild job.
I know why now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either. I'd be like, you know what? You're going to have to replace this, or there's just a no-go.
Exactly. Because the amount of money the amount of time that you spend rebuilding an axle and the amount of labor that it takes to do it. I mean, if you're really good at it, it shouldn't take that long if you have the infrastructure to put the grease and do everything. But if you're just at home in your garage trying to do this, man, it gets real ugly real quick. So I can see why Toyota's like, yo, we're just going to replace the axle. We're not going to rebuild any axles because it's kind of labor intensive.
I was gonna say it's probably gonna either cost you more or about the same. So what's the point? At that point,
exactly. So I guess the whole point of this video is that this was supposed to have been a DIY. It was a DI fail. A DIF. A diff. Hey, look at that.
Well, it wasn't a fail. You still succeeded. It's dragged out and was extremely nasty and just
a horrible experience. Yeah. So I'm going to add this to the list of jobs that I hope I never have to do again. And real quick, before we end this video, I want to shout out CHOWCARES YouTube channel because his channel really helped me like do this job. And there was another random video that I saw that helped me do this job, and I'm going to post this dude right here because, you know, after doing this job myself, anybody who did this job and vlogged it, I had to give you a standing ovation because I couldn't do it. As soon as all that grease started flying everywhere.
Yeah, he did the first one. The plan was to do the first one and then like, okay, once you know your in and outs, you do the second one and we vlog. But by that time it got dark outside, first of all, because it was past 9 p.m. And then second of all, there's just so much grease everywhere that it got to the point, I think he did the intro and they're like, yeah, no, screw it. And that was it.
So this is the vlog. You know, go to those resources if you want to do this job on your own, but please heed my warning. And if you're not an experienced wrencher or you're not in a situation where you have to do this job, don't do this job.
And make sure you have a right space if you decide to do it.
Absolutely. We'll see you on the next vlog. KRTLYFE. Peace.